Hello everyone, it's great to present at Virus Bulletin localhost for the second year. This year I'm presenting LazyScripter, which is an actor we identified around late December 2020. Before starting my talk about LazyScripter, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Hossein Jazi and I'm Threat Intelligence Analysis Manager at Malwarebytes. At Malwarebytes, I'm mostly responsible to track nation-state and cybercrime threat actors and present the findings in blogs and security conferences. As part of my APT tracking activities, I perform threat hunting and malware reverse engineering too. In this talk, I'm providing a detailed analysis about the LazyScripter actor. At first, I talk about how we identify the actor and then talk about the actor targets and spam structure. Then I present the toolset used by the actor as well as the TTP and then talk about the attribution of this actor. At the end, I finish my presentation by providing the conclusion. I have found some interesting malicious document on late December 2020 as part of my daily threat hunting activities. These documents were designed to target job seekers and had embedded objects. The embedded objects were obfuscated batch files that were used to deploy two open source rats, Koadic and OCTOPUS. In some cases, I observed that the actor deployed some commercial rats such as RMS or Quasar rat in addition to Koadic and OCTOPUS. This caught my interest and I've started to look for similar activities. What I mostly looked for was similar documents, similar teams, similar C2 infrastructure, and similar hosting infrastructures. My investigation led to uncovering multiple activity associated to this actor, and I was able to track back its activity to 2018, in which the actor used similar pattern to target people looking to immigrate to Canada. On that campaign, the actor has used a non-immigration company called Canada Visa as lure to intrigue victim to execute its loader. Since that time, I actively monitored all the activities associated to this APT, and I was able to spot all of the campaigns associated to this actor throughout 2021. The latest campaign operated by this actor was late June this year that the actor has targeted aviation industry. In this section, I'm going to talk a little bit about the targets of this actor. The actor has mainly operated spam campaigns in low volumes to target its victims. The actor has used several different teams in its campaigns. The used teams can give us a rough idea about who exactly were the target of the actor. The main target of the actor is aviation industry, in which the actor used several teams including International Air Transport Association, related teams such as IATA security, IATA patches, and IATA updates to target its victims. The actor also used application names associated to aviation industry such as IATA 1ID and BSP-Link to lure its victims. IATA 1ID is a new concept introduced by IATA for contactless identity management that leverages biometric technology. And BSP-Link is the global interface for travel agents and airlines to access the IATA billing and settlement plan. Besides targeting IATA, the actor has used several other teams to target other industries as well. As an example, we have observed that the actor has used UNWTO as a team to target tourism industry. In some cases, the actor has used some more generic teams, such as Microsoft Update or COVID-19, to target almost everyone around the world. In COVID-19 team, the actor has spoofed who email addresses to target the victims. Also, we have observed that the actor has used themes to target people that are looking for jobs. Another interest of the actor is the people that are trying to immigrate to Canada through federal skilled worker programs or provincial programs. We observe that the actor has used Government of Canada forms as decoy documents. As an example, in one of the most recent cases, the actor has used job application associated to Detail Quebec as lure. Detail Quebec is the sectorial workforce committee in the retail trade that works with the retail businesses throughout the Quebec province of Canada. In this section, I'll talk about different spam models used by the actor to distribute its loader. In all the spam campaigns, the actor has distributed its custom loader we call KOCTOPUS. This loader is usually embedded in zip file or a malicious document. We identified three different types of spam used by this actor. In the first type, the actor has embedded its KOCTOPUS loader in an archive file or in an Office document and send them as an email attachment. In the second type, the actor sends benign PDF file as a spam attachment. The PDF file contains a URL that redirects the victim to download KOCTOPUS loader. As an example, as you can see on the bottom of the slide, the attached PDF file is pretending to be a document from IATA and providing the user a link to download an update for BSP Link software. This is a clever way used by this actor to avoid being flagged by a spam filtering system that are able to block suspicious attachment. In type 3, the actor only has embedded a link in the body of the email that redirects the victim to download KOCTOPUS loader. The actor usually uses URL shortener services to hide its real addresses. The following diagram shows the timeline of the activities associated to this actor. As you can see, the actor started its activities in 2018 by targeting people that want to immigrate to Canada using Canada Visa Lure, and then continued its activities throughout 2020, in which, similar to many other actors, it took advantage of COVID-19 as theme to target victims. The last two campaigns operated by this actor were around April, May, and June 2021 that the actor has used BSP Link and IATA as lures to target victims. In this section, I'm going to talk about the toolset and TTPs used by this actor. This diagram shows the overall process activities operated by this actor. As I mentioned before, attacks usually start by a spam email that contain either a zip file or malicious document. The document or zip file contains a variant of loader we called KOCTOPUS that perform the rest of malicious activities. This loader starts its activities by bypassing UAC and then deploying Koadic and OCTOPUS Rat. In some cases, based on the collected information, it deploys a commercial rat or like RMS, Quasar, NjRat, or Remcos rat. In the next set of slides, I'll provide more detailed information about this process. The main toolset used by the actor is a loader we call KOCTOPUS. In this section, I present the deep analysis of this loader. We have identified 4 different variants of this loader: batch, executable, VBA script, and registry. I'll start from the batch variant of this loader. Usually, batch variant of this loader is highly obfuscated using batch encryption tool. Batch encryption is an advanced batch obfuscation tool that uses a combination of known and custom environment variable encoding techniques to obfuscate a batch file. After the obfuscation, we can follow the process of this loader. It starts its activities by checking the OS version to execute the right UAC bypass technique. If the OS version is 10, it uses FUD helper for UAC bypass. Otherwise, it uses event viewer to bypass UAC. In fact, the actor is trying to execute its malicious activity with highest privilege, and for that, it performed one of these two well-known UAC bypasses to gain the admin privilege. After gaining the right privilege, it tries to disable all the registry keys and schedule tasks associated to Microsoft Defender. Here is a small snippet of this process. As you can see, it tries to disable real-time protection, behavior protection, and anti-spyware protection. After finishing the privilege escalation and bypassing the security products, it starts its activity to deploy its rats. For this purpose, it uses PowerShell to download another batch file, which again is obfuscated using batch encryption tool. This downloaded batch file is responsible to download and deploy two open source rat, Koadic and OCTOPUS. At first, it persists them using auto-start registry key, and then add them to a scheduled task to be executed in regular time intervals. The name of created scheduled task usually are something to pretend it's related to Windows update, Chrome, or Mozilla updates. As an example, we observe a scheduled task name like Windows Update, Automatic Chrome Updater, and Automatic Mozilla. The created scheduled task deploys an OCTOPUS agent as a script. This agent first collects the victim info, including hostname, username, OS version, OS architecture, process ID, network domain, and then builds an HTTP request based on the collected information, and then AES encrypt and base64 encodes the request, and finally sends the request to C2 server as an authorization HTTP field header. The key and IV for AES encryption is hard-coded within the agent code. After initializing the connection with the server, it goes into a loop to receive commands from the server. The commands are base64 encoded and AES encrypted and need to be decoded and decrypted first. OCTOPUS agents support 4 commands. The first command is false. If the command is false, the agent does nothing and waits on the loop. The second command is report. If the receive command is report, the agent collects victims info, including list of all the running processes, local IP address, OS version, last boot time, OS local, and current time, and then encrypt and base64 them and sends them in a authorization HTTP field to the server. The third command is download. If the receive command is download, the agent uploads the content of the specified file to the server. The final command is reset PC. It seems this command has been designed to reset victim's machine, but in this case, it seems this feature still has not been implemented. After deploying OCTOPUS, it deploys Koadic by calling mshta, as you can see from the above image. The actor has used mshta and run DLL32 for Koadic stagers. These 8 stagers download a first Koadic stager the first stage Koadic backdoor through using JavaScript. This first stage is obfuscated, and after the obfuscation, we can see that it's responsible to collect victim's information. The collected information are as follows. It executes the whoami command /all to get this SE debug privilege. it gets OS version and built by reading all relative registry locations. It gets group policy histories by reading their registry locations. It gets process architecture and then gets collect list directories in the temp folder. Also, it collects the content of IP routing table by executing route print command. And then also it gets computer name, username, and Windows code page. At the end, it builds an HTTP request with this information and send them to command and control server. The Koadic stager also used to download additional payloads such as Quasar, NjRat, Remcos, and RMS. All the additional payloads that deployed by this actor were commercial rats. In some cases, the KOCTOPUS loader deploys some other open source tools, such as ADS Backdoor. Another variant of KOCTOPUS loader that we observed is executable variant. We analyzed executable variants and noticed that all the executable variants, in fact, are the batch variants of the loader that have been converted into executable using bat2exe tool. The actor has used several different icons for its executable variants to pretend they are legitimate application. We observed that the actor used IATA or IATA 1ID icon. Also, in one of the most recent campaigns, the actor used Google Authenticator as its executable variant icon to pretend to be that application. KOCTOPUS has also two other variants, VBA-script and registry key variant. The VBA-script variant has the same functionality as we mentioned in the batch variant, with the difference that process execution has been started by a VBA-script that calls WScript to execute a PowerShell command. The registry key variant sets the autorun registry key with a PowerShell command that download and execute a batch variant of KOCTOPUS. The actor uses dynamic DNS providers for command and control communication as well as hosting its payloads. Dynamic DNS providers allow people to create free subdomains on shared domains, and as you can see, the actor has created several subdomains on different dynamic DNS domains for its command and control communications. We also observed that the actor used GitHub and Discord to host its payloads. The actor switches its hosting service from GitHub and Discord to dynamic DNS servers after we published our first report on their activities. In this section, I'm going to talk a little bit about the attribution of this actor. Usually in attribution process, several factors are being considered, such as TTPs and toolset, decoy documents, and victims. From this point of view, we found some similarity between this actor with Muddywater APT. As an example, both have used Koadic and Empire in their previous campaigns. Both have used scripting languages such as PowerShell and JavaScript in their campaigns. Both have used GitHub to host their malicious payloads, and both have added some fork of some popular toolset to add some legitimacy to their GitHub accounts. Also, both have used a schedule task and registry run keys, and also a startup folder for persistency. But from the analysis of infrastructure used by the actor, we found some interesting artifacts about the origin of the actor. The actor used a Gmail account for most of its activities and also uses a nickname patch10 in different services. We were able to track back the real IP of the actor, and the IP addresses are located in Morocco. Also, we were able to find some social media accounts related to this actor, and those accounts suggest that the actor is from Yemen. Based on our new findings, we believe that this actor is not related to Malware APT, and it's a new group originated from Yemen and possibly have some team members in Morocco as well. In this presentation, I provided an overview of new actor we called LazyScripter. The actor has operated spam campaigns in low volumes to target its victim. The main target of the actor are aviation industry and people that are trying to immigrate to Canada through job programs. The main toolset used by actor is a loader we name KOCTOPUS that has been used to deploy Koadic and OCTOPUS Rat. This loader has 4 different variants: batch, executable, VBS script, and registry key. Also, we found that the actor is mainly reliable to open source and commercial rats for its malicious activities. In overall, I can say the actor is not very sophisticated actor and does not have advanced capabilities such as developing custom toolsets, but still it's an active actor and keep using commercial and open source tools and keep operating spam campaigns. Yeah, that's end of my presentation. Thanks for joining my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, you can directly contact me on my Twitter.